Okay, so I hope that after seeing those videos, I hope you found that interesting. Do you really think, going back to Edward Jenner, what do you think about the way that he um, went about doing that? I just wonder if the boy knew that he was giving him, you know, basically testing on him. I mean, that was definitely a human trial right there. Um, and, I mean, he basically made that vaccine from the pus of a cowpox. I mean, that is disgusting. But those are things that happened back then as they were trying to make discoveries. All right, the next one was on Louis Pasteur, and I really liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And realize how much that we owe to him and him not giving up. And here's the thing I want you to know about Louis Pasteur is, um, I mean, he was basically mocked by by other people. They just didn't believe him that there was, germ theory and that we needed to, that something as small as a microscopic organism could hurt something as large as a human. But obviously, we know now that that is certainly true. So, he just didn't give up. He believed he was right, and he kept working. And so he's definitely a pioneer in the medical field to look up to. All right, and then my favorite, Florence Nightingale. I love Florence Nightingale. And the Nightingale Pledge. That nurses, not every nursing school has you recite it, but it's definitely meant a lot to me over the years, and especially through this pandemic of COVID. It's definitely meant a lot to me, and her just the things that she did gives a lot for nurses to live up to as well. For all you ladies all the ladies in the room, I hope as you watch about her, you saw what all she had to give up. Now we pretty much are like, you can have it all. I mean, you can have a family and a job, and it's exhausting. I mean, because I am living proof that it can be done, but it's exhausting. So, but I don't know if you noticed that she never married. So why do you think that she never married? Well, if she had gotten married, she would have had children. And so she gave that up to be a nurse, and so that I could have the opportunities that I have today. So I've always looked at these female pioneers like her and Clara Barton and just been very appreciative of what they gave up so that we could have the opportunities that we have as women today. All right, so moving on to the 19th century. This is the Industrial Revolution. You probably talked about this at some point in your history class. So we have got some major progress happening right now. Rene Laennec invented the stethoscope. So before then, we haven't really heard the sounds that the heart makes other than just, with putting our ear up to someone's chest. But now we can actually listen to that. This is when we start having formal training for nurses with Florence Nightingale. She establishes the sanitary nursing care. So before this, surgeons, doctors, I'm sure you saw this, you remember this from the video, they wouldn't even wash their hands before they went from one patient to the next. So, might wipe their hands off on their, coat and then go to the next room. So obviously, gosh, they're spreading disease right there where you're in the hospitals where you're supposed to be helping people. So this was when infection control began. So it's a whole field that you can go into is infection control and epidemiology that you can do as a nurse, or you can do it. You might start out as get your nursing degree and then move into infection control, or you can just study epidemiology to begin with of how to of following infections. Like that's basically what has been happening. The WHO and the CDC are trying to track down. Still don't think we know who patient 0 was for the for the coronavirus, or patient 0 in an area. That's going to be You know, that's how they track these things and try to control infections. All right, we have the first female doctor in the United States during the Industrial Revolution. Her name was Elizabeth Blackwell. There was already a physician in Europe, a female physician in Europe, but we do have the first female doctor in the U.S. Clara Barton also founded the Red Cross. Neither of these women ever married either, for the reasons that we talked about earlier. And the average lifespan now increases 40 to 65. So that's huge. I mean, we're not much further from this right now. So it's pretty amazing. Think back to the ancient times. So basically from the Renaissance period. So in 300 years, humanity accomplished more than they had in the 5,000 before it. So vaccines and medicines are developed, like you saw in the video with Edward Jenner. All right, so I've got another video for you to watch on Clara Barton, so please watch that. And I'm going to pause it right here so you can watch that video.